Hello everyone and welcome to my The Young and the Restless official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Monday, March 2nd, reveal that Sally Spectra's farewell meal with Billy Abbott may not go according to plan. Nick Newman will also enter the danger zone as he sets a trap that could prove downright irresistible to Matt Clark. For starters, let's talk about the goodbye dinner that Billy intends to have with Sally. Billy would rather it be a reconciliation dinner instead, which is exactly why Audra Charles is concerned about this meal happening at all. Once Sally has a chance to really think about Audra's warning, could she skip the dinner altogether? That'd be one way to derail it, but Sally seems pretty confident she's got the willpower to stand her ground against Billy. With that in mind, the dinner may move forward, but Audra may be right about this idea ending in disaster. Even if Sally holds firm and doesn't reunite with Billy, some conflict could erupt and ensure that the exes are no longer civil with each other. One way or another, Y&R spoilers suggest Billy and Sally's meal will get derailed. It'll be interesting to see how things might blow up and whether Billy will lash out at Sally as a result. Over with Nick, he'll move full speed ahead when it comes to a risky trap for Matt. The cops can't go after Matt since he's not a fugitive and hasn't committed any further crimes yet, so it's up to the Newmans to handle him. It looks like Nick will have a request for Victoria Newman as he works to put the pieces in place for this setup. Sharon Newman will be willing to pitch in as well, but Nick won't want to put either of them in danger. That's why Nick may fly solo at a certain point and make sure he's the only one putting his life on the line to draw Matt closer. As for Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, she may give Phyllis Summers' offer some real thought. If Lauren comes clean to Michael Baldwin about Phyllis asking her to work at Newman Enterprises, Michael may insist it's a terrible idea. Anyone linked to Phyllis and her takeover move will be toxic in Victor Newman's eyes. Nevertheless, The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest Lauren may weigh her options after spilling the news to Michael in the coming episodes. The upcoming Monday on The Young and the Restless promises to be a whirlwind of tension, emotion, and high-stakes drama, and it all starts with what's supposed to be a simple farewell. Sally Spectra's planned goodbye dinner with Billy Abbott, a meal meant to be a quiet final moment, may not go as smoothly as anyone hopes. Billy, ever the hopeless romantic at heart, is secretly hoping this dinner will turn into something more, a reconciliation. The glimmer of maybe we can start over flickers in his mind, and that's exactly what has Audra Charles worried. She senses the danger before Sally even does, warning her that the evening could spiral out of control. But Sally, she's determined. She tells herself she's strong enough to resist Billy's charm, to walk away unshaken, to stick to her boundaries. Yet, as the evening unfolds, the tension is palpable. Every glance, every subtle smile, every hesitation carries the weight of past heartbreaks, whispered regrets, and unspoken feelings. Even if Sally keeps her resolve, Y&R spoilers hint that the dinner won't stay calm for long. Old resentments, lingering emotions, and perhaps even a touch of jealousy or anger could surface. One wrong word, one sudden movement, and the delicate balance of civility could shatter. The exes, once careful to keep their distance, may find themselves embroiled in conflict, a conflict that no polite conversation or polite dinner napkin could soothe. As the scene fades on Sally and Billy, another storm is brewing elsewhere in Genoa City. Nick Newman, always precise and calculating, is venturing into dangerous territory with a plan that walks a razor's edge. His target, Matt Clark. With the law unable to touch Matt, no new crimes, no fugitive status, Nick knows he has to act and act carefully. The tension builds as Nick sets his trap, pulling Victoria Newman into his orbit. He has a request for her, a piece of the plan that requires trust, timing, and nerve. Sharon Newman, ever loyal, is ready to help, yet Nick hesitates. He refuses to put them in harm's way, understanding the stakes. The trap is dangerous, risky, life-threatening even, and he knows that at some point he may have to face it alone. Nick's courage isn't just bravado, it's born from love, loyalty, and the burning need to protect his family while bringing Matt closer to justice. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the Newman universe, another moral and strategic dilemma unfolds. Lauren Fenmore Baldwin finds herself weighing an offer from Phyllis Summers, a chance to work at Newman Enterprises. On the surface, it seems like a career move, but the undercurrents are far murkier. Michael Baldwin, protective and wary, hears the news and reacts predictably. Anyone linked to Phyllis, especially amid her scheming to take over Victor Newman's empire, is toxic in his eyes. He warns Lauren that stepping into this minefield would be a mistake, yet deep down he knows he can't control her choice. Lauren's heart and mind are torn. Part of her considers the opportunity, the possibilities, the challenge of carving her place in the Newman world. Another part hesitates, wary of the chaos that often follows Phyllis Summers. The coming days will reveal how she navigates this tightrope, whether she embraces the chance or whether loyalty, caution, and love for her family will guide her decision. In Genoa City, Monday's episodes promise a collision of hearts, minds, and wills. Sally and Billy confront the fragile remnants of love and tension at dinner, each step fraught with emotional danger. Nick races against time, strategy, and his own conscience to draw Matt into a trap without endangering those he loves. And Lauren, caught between ambition and moral clarity, must decide which path will define her future. The city pulses with anticipation. Each moment, each glance, and each decision carries the weight of consequences that ripple far beyond the present. Secrets will be tested, loyalty strained, and emotions laid bare in ways that only the young and the restless can deliver. Monday isn't just another day in Genoa City, it's a storm on the horizon, and no one will escape unscathed. As Sally steps into the softly lit restaurant, the air feels heavy with possibility and danger. The clinking of cutlery, the quiet hum of other diners, and the faint scent of fine wine and rich cuisine all create a deceptively peaceful atmosphere. But beneath the surface, every word, every pause carries the weight of history between her and Billy. Billy sits at the table, nervously fidgeting with the menu, trying to act casual but betraying a flicker of hope in his eyes. He wants this dinner to be more than a polite farewell. He wants to reignite something, to remind Sally of the bond they once shared, the laughter, the stolen moments, and the unspoken what-ifs that lingered long after their breakup. Audra's warning echoes in Sally's mind. She knows that Billy's intentions are far from innocent. Part of her wonders if she should just walk away, skip the dinner entirely, and spare herself the turmoil. But another part of her, the part that's stubborn, proud, and maybe a little curious, insists she can handle it. She can sit at the table, maintain her boundaries, and face Billy without giving in to old feelings. The dinner begins. For a moment, it seems civil. They exchange polite smiles, sip their wine, and talk about safe, superficial topics. But then a glance lingers too long. A joke carries more weight than intended. A memory surfaces unbidden, and suddenly the air between them crackles with unspoken tension. Their conversation teeters on the edge of normalcy and emotional chaos. Billy's voice softens as he reaches across the table, not physically, but in his words. "I've missed you," he admits, almost whispering it as though saying it aloud might make it real. Sally's chest tightens. She's aware of the pull, the temptation to respond, to let the years of separation melt away in this moment. But she steels herself, reminding herself of Audra's warning, of her own resolve, of the reasons they parted. Yet the night doesn't remain calm. A misstep, a sarcastic remark, a hint of accusation, suddenly civility shatters. Voices rise, eyes flash with anger and hurt, and the carefully constructed walls between them crumble. It's messy, it's raw, and it's heartbreakingly real. For viewers, the scene unfolds like slow-motion cinema. Every gesture, every glance, every subtle tremor of emotion magnified by the quiet tension of the room. By the end, the dinner is a disaster. Not because either of them wanted it to be, but because emotions have a way of overflowing no matter how tightly they're controlled. Meanwhile, Nick Newman is orchestrating a very different kind of storm. The city streets are quiet, but his mind is anything but. He knows Matt Clark is dangerous, slippery, and smart. Too smart for law enforcement to catch without evidence of a new crime. Nick's plan is precise, strategic, and fraught with risk. He begins to pull together the pieces, quietly consulting Victoria Newman, explaining the timing, the bait, the risks. Victoria's eyes widen at his words, knowing the danger, knowing the courage it takes to put himself on the line. Shannon Newman offers to help too. Her loyalty is unwavering, her determination clear. But Nick hesitates. He can't bear the thought of anyone he loves getting hurt. The trap must be his responsibility, his alone. And as the pieces fall into place, he braces himself. He knows that at some point he may have to confront Matt alone, risking everything to protect his family and finally bring Matt to justice. Every step is tense, calculated, and dangerous. The kind of edge-of-your-seat scenario that keeps viewers holding their breath. And while dinner disasters and high-stakes traps dominate the evening, Lauren Fenmore Baldwin faces a quieter but no less intense storm of the heart and mind. Phyllis Summers has extended an offer, a tempting strategic opportunity to work at Newman Enterprises. On the surface, it's a career move, a chance to carve out a place for herself in a world dominated by the Newman Empire. But underneath lies the shadow of Phyllis herself, manipulative, ambitious, and willing to blur the lines of morality to achieve her goals. Lauren's conscience nags at her. She confides in Michael Baldwin, revealing Phyllis's proposal and asking for guidance. Michael's reaction is immediate and firm. Anyone allied with Phyllis, anyone involved in her schemes against Victor Newman, is toxic. He warns Lauren that taking the offer could bring disaster, hurt, and moral compromise. Yet Lauren is not a woman to act without thought. She weighs her options, the potential gains and losses, the ethical tightrope she must walk. Her internal struggle is palpable: ambition versus loyalty, opportunity versus integrity, strategy versus conscience. As these storylines unfold simultaneously, Genoa City feels like a living, breathing character in its own right. Streets lit with the soft glow of evening, quiet corners where secrets fester, and every glance between characters charged with tension, longing, or dread. Monday's episodes promise a collision of these emotional worlds. Sally and Billy's dinner is a tinderbox of past love and unresolved tension, ready to ignite at any moment. Nick's trap for Matt is a high-stakes game of strategy, courage, and danger. And Lauren's moral and professional dilemma promises subtle yet deeply resonant drama that will ripple through the Newman family for weeks to come. Each storyline is threaded with emotion, hope, fear, desire, resentment, and courage. Together, they weave a tapestry of human experience that feels raw, real, and compelling. By the end of the night, viewers won't just watch events unfold, they'll feel the heartbreak, the suspense, the triumphs, and the betrayals as if they are standing right there in Genoa City, watching lives collide, choices are made, and futures are forever altered. Monday isn't just another day. It's a storm of emotion, strategy, and consequence. A day where hearts will be tested, loyalty stretched, and the fragile balance of love and family will hang by a thread. And as the credits roll, one thing is certain: no one in Genoa City will emerge unchanged. The echoes of Billy and Sally's disastrous dinner linger long after the restaurant doors close. Sally steps out into the cool night air, her chest still tight from the confrontation. She feels a storm of emotions: anger, frustration, lingering affection, and the piercing awareness of what could have been. Every streetlight casts a shadow, mirroring the shadow of doubt and unresolved feelings that follow her. She tells herself she did the right thing, that she stood her ground, but the quiet ache in her heart refuses to be ignored. Billy, meanwhile, remains at the table for a moment longer, staring at the empty chair across from him. Regret and longing mix in his gaze as he tries to process the collision of love, pride, and pain that just occurred. The reconciliation he hoped for has slipped through his fingers, leaving him with nothing but memories and the bitter taste of almost. The night, meant to heal, only exposes the raw scars of their past. As Sally retreats into the night, the scene shifts to Nick Newman, whose own tension has reached a fever pitch. The trap for Matt Clark is in motion. Every step Nick takes is precise, calculated, and fraught with risk. The quiet home of the city becomes a drumbeat of suspense, each car passing, each distant siren adding to the sense that one wrong move could turn the situation catastrophic. Nick watches, waits, and anticipates, his mind racing with every possible scenario. He knows that Matt is clever, unpredictable, and dangerous. At the same time, he carries the weight of responsibility, not just for justice but for the safety of his family. Victoria and Sharon are nearby, their presence a comforting reminder of what he's fighting for. But Nick keeps them at a distance. When the critical moment comes, he steps into the line of fire alone, a lone figure standing against a threat that could unravel everything he holds dear. And then the confrontation with Matt unfolds. It's tense, cinematic, and terrifyingly close. Every word, every gesture is loaded with danger. Matt senses the trap but underestimates the cunning and resolve of Nick Newman. In a thrilling dance of strategy, wit, and nerve, Nick maneuvers Matt closer to the edge, drawing him into a situation where he has no choice but to reveal his intentions. It's a high-stakes chess game with lives on the line, and the suspense grips viewers, leaving them holding their breath as the scene plays out. Meanwhile, Lauren Fenmore Baldwin sits in quiet contemplation at home. The weight of Phyllis Summers' offer presses on her, a tantalizing mixture of opportunity and peril. Michael Baldwin paces nearby, his concern etched across his face, warning her of the danger and the moral compromise that could come from aligning with Phyllis. Yet Lauren is thoughtful, deliberate, and resolute. She understands that every choice has consequences, and the path she selects could alter not only her career but the fragile dynamics of her family and the Newman empire. In this moment, the quiet is almost deafening. The stakes are subtle but potent. Every decision, every ethical dilemma, every whispered conversation has the potential to ripple through the city, leaving its mark on everyone involved. Lauren's internal struggle mirrors the broader tension of Genoa City itself. Love and loyalty, ambition and morality, courage and fear, all intersecting in a delicate combustible web. Back in the Newman household, the evening winds down, but the reverberations of these choices echo long into the night. Sally returns home. Billy contemplates the remnants of a dream deferred. Nick carefully dismantles his trap after a tense encounter with Matt, and Lauren weighs her options in silence, knowing the decision she makes tomorrow could change everything. Each storyline, while distinct, threads together like a tapestry of human emotion. Hearts are tested, loyalties are strained, choices are weighed against love, morality, and survival. And through it all, Genoa City remains alive, a vibrant, restless character in its own right, reflecting the inner turmoil, joy, and fear of those who inhabit it. As Monday's drama comes to a close, viewers are left on the edge of their seats, hearts racing, minds swirling with possibilities. Who will emerge victorious? Who will be broken? And whose choices will cast long shadows across the lives of everyone in Genoa City? In the end, one thing is clear: Monday isn't just another day in The Young and the Restless. It's a masterclass in emotion, tension, and human complexity. A reminder that in Genoa City, no decision is simple, no heart is untouched, and no future is guaranteed. Every glance, every word, every choice carries weight. And for the residents of this city, life is always one dramatic heartbeat away from chaos.